Right, well hello again people. It's a Wednesday, it's midday, and today I'm in Rochester in Kent with Candice. She's beside me, and we've got matching walking trousers on. And yeah, this is what is it, it's our third date, and yeah, not bad. Get to do this sort of stuff on a date, it's pretty cool. So yeah, we're in Rochester, historic town. Of course there's the castle, cathedral, and basically what we're going to do is a little walk out of this book, 50 Walks in Kent. Sort of just started it really, I've only done 1 or 2 out of it. And the walk we're doing is 6 miles. It should take us about 3 hours. We're walking from Rochester to Upnor, which has also got a castle. So yeah, a lot of history around here, old buildings, and yeah, sort of like Charles Dickens. There's a lot of association with him because he lived here as well. Yeah, so we're just looking for our next point of reference. It's going to be a lot of town walking, I think, today, and sort of, you know, so probably not very many green fields and that. We're going to be following part of the Saxon Shore Way, I know that. Candice is saying go this way. Crow Lane? Yep, we found it, yeah. So anyway, enough talking, let's get walking. In Our Mutual Friend, 1865, Charles Dickens wrote of a ship's hull with its rusty iron links of cable run out of horse holes, long discoloured with the iron's rusty tears. You pass a decaying ship just like this as you walk along the Medway from Rochester to Upnor, and the spirit of Charles Dickens, 1812 to 1870, is with you throughout this walk. In the streets of Rochester you'll half expect to meet genial Mr. Pickwick coming out of a pub, or see mad Miss Havisham peering from a window, still wearing her ancient wedding dress. Charles Dickens came to live near Rochester in 1816 as a queer small boy of 5, and the area held a fascination for him, inspiring much of his work. Wherever you go you pass places that featured in his novels. There's Eastgate House, which appears as Westgate House in the Pickwick Papers, 1836 to 1837, Rochester Cathedral, the focal point of his last unfinished novel, The Mystery of Edwin Drood, 1870, and Restoration House, which became Satis House in Great Expectations, 1861, the mysterious home of Miss Havisham. Travel a few miles from Rochester to Calling Churchyard, and you can see the tiny stone lozenges, children's gravestones that feature in the opening passage of Great Expectations. Dickens' life in Rochester was happy, although he was a delicate child and never enjoyed good health. However, when his family moved to London a few years later, his life changed. His father John, who always lived above his means, fell deeply into debt and was sent to the Marshalsea debtors' prison. Young Charles had to work in a blacking factory to help support the family, an experience that haunted him throughout his life. He went to work at an attorney's office at the age of 15, but was so keen to write that he taught himself shorthand and eventually found work as a journalist. In 1836 his first novel, The Pickwick Papers, was published. His books made him wealthy, and in 1856 Dickens bought Gad's Hill Place near Rochester, a house he had dreamed of owning since he was a child. Here he would write, entertain fellow authors, and go for long walks beside the desolate Medway marshes, just as he used to do with his father. He loved to work in an ornate Swiss chalet, which he built in his garden. It had been sent to him as a gift by a friend and arrived flat-packed in boxes. The chalet has now been moved and is in the centre of Rochester by Eastgate House. Dickens died at Gad's Hill in 1870. Right, we're outside the cathedral here at Rochester. Very impressive. Candice loves this. And what I love about Rochester is the castle behind us. It's one of my favourite castles, this one, along with like Orford, Headingham Castle. Yeah, been here once as a kid. I went here for my birthday actually when I was, I don't know if I was a teenager, I can't remember. I was going through a funny dress sense at the time, like wearing a bandana, so who knows. Yeah, I think it was host of the longest siege in British history during the medieval period. I think it was Bad King John that basically tried to take the castle back after a group of barons that didn't like him decided to yeah, take the castle. And yeah, I think it was like 3 months they held out for. Sorry, no, it's alright, I'm just filming behind me. It's alright. Yeah, the thing with these town walks, there's always people about. So yeah, and in the end I think King Johnny basically ordered, I think it was like 40 of the fattest pigs that were unfit for human consumption to be sent to here, and basically they tunnelled under one of the corners of the keep, and you had like wooden structures, like wooden supports holding, like, you know, the brickwork up, the foundations up. So he killed these pigs and he burnt them. The fat would have burnt for ages, caused a massive fire, basically burnt the foundations and brought the corner of the keep down, and that's how they got into the castle and took the castle back. I think that's it anyway, like, don't quote me on it, but I think it was Mark Morris Castle, his documentary, which is really worth watching. I can put a link below in the description to that video, it's well worth a watch. Right, we're crossing over Rochester Bridge now, and it was opened in 1914, 14th of May. There's the River Medway. So I believe we came across this year to come into Rochester. Yeah, look at that, amazing views. Banging. Still on the Saxon Shore Way in Rochester, heading to Upnor, and over here we've got some oast houses. Pretty cool. I do like an oast house. Very very popular in Kent, of course. So we believe we're heading this way. It's sort of a quieter sort of back street sort of thing. This is probably the most countrified bit of the walk, I reckon, so far. I use that kind of word in the broadest possible sense because it is still pretty much like town walking, but something different on Tom Outdoors. Walk's a walk at the end of the day. Right, so we're heading back down here, and the route's going to take us back along the riverbank again at the Medway. Upnor, it says, is 3/4 of a mile away, so we ain't got that far to go. Right, we're just passing the MOD Ministry of Defence training area site here between Rochester and Upnor. We've seen some proper cool like boats and like army trucks and stuff. Heavy security, dogs patrolling the area, CCTV, this fencing. Something tells me they don't want us to go in there. Yeah, look quite interesting. Don't really know too much else about it. If anyone does know, get in the comments as always, of course. You'll probably know more than us, or if you live around this way. But yeah, it was saw a couple of soldiers about. Yeah, interesting stuff. Right, we're coming back out to the River Medway now. The tiny high street at Upper Upnor is dominated by the 16th century castle, built to protect the English fleet, which was frequently anchored up the Medway by Rochester Castle. The castle saw no action for about 100 years and was taken by surprise when in 1667 the Dutch, then at war with England, sailed right past it. They attacked the fleet, burning ships and stealing the flagship before sailing back to Holland. It was a national humiliation. Unfortunately, Upnor Castle's closed now. Not the end of the world. Yeah, I mean, we didn't go in Rochester either. Unfortunately, I don't think we've really got time to go in the castles today, but it's not too far away really. I mean, it's about, in total, probably about an hour's drive for me, so yeah, we shall return at some point another time, McLeod. Oh, look at this. So this is the Tudor Rose Pub. That looks quite old, sort of the old sign there, and yeah, this is in the High Street at Upnor. Right, and here we are back out of the River Medway at the quay here in Lower Upnor. Really nice view along Pier Place. So yeah, it's been a good little walk, this one, and shared it with a good company. At Lower Upnor, prehistoric wild animals once roamed these slopes, as archaeological evidence shows. One of the most interesting discoveries in the area was made in 1911, when a group of Royal Engineers working near Upnor dug up the remains of a mammoth dating back to the last ice age. it was taken to the Natural History Museum in London. So I think this is from the HMS Arthusa, cannons and all, and yeah, there you go. You even get tits in my video. Should I say a tit? No, actually tits, because I'm a tit as well. Yeah, there we go. Amazing. Right. Oh, there's the toilets there. And then, yeah, this pillbox, unfortunately, has it's been sealed up. No entry. This is a marine watch area. Right, well, we've come to the end of the walk at Lower Upnor. The River Medway's behind me, so I thought it would be a nice place to sort of end it. We're going to head to one of the many pubs in a minute and get a bite to eat and a drink. It's been really good, so yeah, thanks to Candice for joining me. It's been really good fun. As I say, she's behind the camera, she's a bit shy, but it's fair enough. She's swearing at me now. Anyway. Yeah, so yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this one. As always, get in the comments, like, dislike. If you haven't subscribed already, of course, please do. Nearly at 1,000 subscribers, so yeah, cheers, thank you for the support. I appreciate it a lot. Until next time, yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye.